MoviePass sold unlimited theatrical movies for about $10 a month and burned through $20 million every month doing it. At its peak, 3 million subscribers treated a debit card like a license to see anything on the marquee, while the company paid full ticket price and collected almost nothing back. The mechanism was brutally simple. Every trip to the theater widened the gap between what MoviePass charged and what a seat actually cost. Growth did not fix the math. It accelerated the bleed. Management pitched subscriber data as the real asset, a goldmine of moviegoing intelligence worth more than the losses. But the numbers told a different story. Each new user was another leak in a sinking ship. If subsidized tickets were the path to ruin, was there ever an earlier version of this plan, one built by co-founder Stacy Spikes, that could have actually worked? The answer is yes. Before the cash burn and the public collapse, there was a different vision. Co-founder Stacy Spikes had designed a system named PreShow, built on a simple, sustainable exchange. A movie ticket was not bought, but earned. The model required users to watch a block of targeted advertisements, with facial recognition technology ensuring they were paying attention. In return, they received a free ticket. The revenue model was built around advertiser spend, not subscriber fees. It was a closed loop, where the cost of the ticket was designed to be directly covered by the ad spend it would generate. A Kickstarter campaign with a goal of just $10,000 was planned to recruit its first users. The economics were sound, defensible, and scaled according to revenue, not debt. But this architecture was set aside. The company shifted toward a model backed by outside capital. The new objective was not profit, but pure, unconstrained growth. This led to the creation of what was initially conceived as a temporary promotional offer, one that would capture the public's imagination: unlimited movies for a flat monthly fee. For just $9.95 a month, a subscriber could see one 2D movie every single day, paid for by a company-issued debit card. The value proposition was so extreme, it felt impossible. It was an irresistible promise, fueled by aggressive capital backing, and it completely eclipsed the original, viable plan. When the company traded its balanced ad model for a subsidized ticket-buying engine, it lit a fuse. The public had never seen an offer like it, and the resulting explosion in growth came paired with mounting financial losses from unsustainable pricing and broader business model challenges. The company would cease operations in 2019 and was declared bankrupt in 2020, though it was later relaunched in 2022 by its co-founder Stacy Spikes. The growth was explosive. Within months of the price drop, the subscriber base swelled past 3 million users. For a public drowning in subscription fatigue, the math was overwhelmingly in the consumer's favor. For less than the price of a single ticket, a user had access to a near-limitless supply. The psychology was liberating. It removed financial risk from moviegoing, turning even a mediocre film into a zero-cost gamble. The service didn't just feel like a good deal, it felt like a hack of the entire system. From the outside, this looked like market domination. The parent company, Helios and Matheson Analytics, framed the losses as a necessary investment. They weren't just selling tickets. They were pursuing a broader strategy of viewer data analysis. At its peak, MoviePass was absorbing a substantial share of movie tickets sold in the United States. This wasn't just a user base. It was a significant block of the national box office, controlled by a single app. The story told was one of inevitable scale. Once they'd amassed enough users, the economics would somehow correct themselves. But the power was an illusion. While the company projected strength, it was hemorrhaging cash at a rate of $20 million every month. Each new subscriber, celebrated as a victory, was actually accelerating the company's path to insolvency. The data could never be monetized fast enough to plug the hole. The company was not building an asset. It was servicing a debt that grew with every ticket swiped. Faced with this brutal arithmetic, management began to turn on its own users. The deal was about to change. The inevitable cash crisis finally arrived, forcing a series of desperate and self-defeating maneuvers. With losses spiraling, management's first move was to betray the very promise that had fueled its meteoric growth. The iconic price was abruptly raised from $9.99 to $14.95, and access to nearly all new Hollywood blockbusters was severely restricted. The parent company claimed these changes would slash its cash burn by a staggering 60%, but it was a futile attempt to patch a gushing wound. The market knew it. Days later, the company was forced to secure an emergency loan of $6.2 million, just to keep the lights on. The terms were punishing. Lenders could demand repayment of $3.1 million almost immediately, a clause that underscored the company's precarious, day-to-day existence. But the most destructive act was not financial. It was relational. In a move thinly veiled as quote, 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 quote. Movie photograph their physical ticket stubs and upload them as proof of purchase. An uply-nice proof of purchase. The penalty for non-compliance was account cancellation. The implicit accusation was clear and insulting. Every subscriber was now treated as a potential source of fraud. The public backlash was swift and severe. A community built on the thrill of an unbelievable deal now felt spied on, policed, and fundamentally distrusted. The trust that had been the foundation of its viral growth evaporated overnight. The company was now fighting a war on two fronts, one against its own catastrophic balance sheet, and a new one against the very customers it needed to survive. The $6.2 million loan bought a few more days of operation, but the damage to user loyalty was permanent. The system was not just breaking. It was actively destroying its only remaining asset, its subscriber base, from within, setting the stage for a final terminal collapse. The final stage of the collapse was not a single event, but a slow, frustrating decay of the service itself. Restrictions multiplied until the service became a cruel parody. Subscribers opened the app each day to find a curated, unpredictable shortlist of available films. Major releases were blacked out. Showtimes would be restricted or vanish from the app without warning. The app, once a key to the kingdom, became a gatekeeper, locking users out of the very product they had paid for. This wasn't a temporary glitch. It was the system's death rattle, a direct consequence of a monthly burn rate that had peaked at an estimated $20 million. The company was simply out of money to buy the tickets it had promised. The chaos was the terminal symptom of a business model with no foundation. As the service became unusable, its parent company, Helios and Matheson, faced severe financial struggles, its stock plummeting to a fraction of a penny. But the damage extended far beyond a single balance sheet. MoviePass left behind a toxic legacy, poisoning the market for subscription-based cinema. Surviving competitors were forced to distance themselves from the all-you-can-eat model, while consumers were left deeply cynical, conditioned to view any similar offer with suspicion. The name became a cautionary tale, a synonym for an unsustainable promise. So the question is not simply how the company failed, but what that failure revealed. The wreckage of MoviePass offers a stark, forensic blueprint of a strategic breakdown, a lesson written in burned capital and broken trust. The central failure of MoviePass can be distilled into a single, fatal diagnosis: negative unit economics. At 3 million subscribers and a reported $20 million monthly burn, the company was losing money on nearly every ticket, roughly $80 per subscriber per year at peak scale, and far more for heavy users. This is the essence of the subscription bailout trap. A business cannot outgrow a loss that is baked into every single transaction. Unlike the founder's original, ad-supported PreShow model, which tied revenue directly to cost, the roughly $10 unlimited plan was built on a mathematical impossibility. With each new customer celebrated by investors, the company was functionally paying people to bankrupt it, burning through $20 million a month. This structural flaw was magnified by a complete failure of partner alignment. MoviePass paid full retail price for every ticket, absorbing the entire cost while charging a fixed, unsustainable fee. It had no leverage, no revenue share, and no discount from the theaters it was supposedly disrupting. When the financial pressure became unbearable, management committed the final error. They liquidated their last remaining asset, customer trust. The infamous ticket verification policy was a textbook case of solving an internal operational problem by offloading the cost and friction onto the user. It was an admission that the company viewed its own subscribers not as partners, but as a hostile variable to be policed. The entire enterprise was built on this fundamental contradiction. What is the value of controlling 6% of the national box office if each ticket sold only hastens your own demise?